Hi, Jace.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
How does it feel? Tired?
Yeah, I think it's tiring. I think the past few days with a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So because we're on a retreat night right now, and how many reps are you doing for the test?
10.
10. Okay. Part of the requirement for joining Contemplative CrossFit is bench press.
That's not the...
Well, this is your PITH instruction.
Yeah, that's my PIP instruction.
Yeah, because
From
she's leading the next.
5 rep max to
She's
10
gonna
rep
lead
max.
a parallel cohort, taking a lot of afflictions. So you have to increase the bench, and this is Tyson's training, preparing her for the bench press.
Learn how to push.
Push the suffering. We don't really make a distinction between retreat and play and work and relating.
It's just relating all the time.
That's pretty tiring, right?
Yeah. It's like all the time. Yeah. I mean, it's tiring, but it's also effortless.
Yeah, I see that. Because
Right?
you got the view.
Yeah.
When you have the view, you can be effort and effortlessness at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot of
exactly.
work, but it still feels like you just increase your capacity.
It's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So do you think your fitness level increased this last few days?
Oh,
It's hard to say yet.
I think so.
You think so?
Actually, this morning was a stark.
Oh, the transmission?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the shift. Yeah.
You had a shift?
Feel like it.
Sure.
Oh, I was just saying that I mean, before that I was a little bit confused because, there's just this sense like, am I being honest with myself, or am I being honest when relating to people? It's like you always say like you don't care, and you don't give a fuck, but there are things that you don't like to say.
Oh, there are things I don't like to say.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
If you feel like something would hurt somebody, or like if it's too like pointed, I think you don't say it.
I think so.
Yeah. I think it's the same for, okay, it's not that I don't say it, I do try to frame it in a nice way. But sometimes I think the message get lost when you're trying to be nice and you don't get the messaging across. So I've just been thinking about that, and I don't know, and I've been wondering like what kind of person should I be in CC? Because in essence, if you actually embody self-emptiness, it's like you don't really care.
Yeah.
Like who you are, right? Like you can just be anybody.
Yeah, you can just be flexible.
Yeah, you can be flexible, can be versatile.
But then you kind of playing a role here.
Yeah.
So you're leading the next cohort, one of the parallel cohort.
Yeah.
That's the advanced version, the advanced bus. So that's a big responsibility.
I actually haven't like fully integrated with what that means.
Oh, right.
And it just felt like, oh, you're just doing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it, but I don't yet get what it means and how is it different from like the cohort that we've been leading.
Okay, I think the main difference is that everyone in advanced are people who have already done at least one bootcamp and they're training to be initiates.
It's true, but the thing is, how do you relate differently, right? Because I don't think that I think in a way we were relating pretty honestly already in the main cohort. But this one in 7A, it's so Mei Cheng and Khan keep telling me like, these people are ready to like lose their self.
Oh shit! You're supposed to be the last person to push him over the edge or something.
Yeah, and I wonder if I'm that kind of person that can push people to their edge, because like how well do I even do that in the first place to push myself to the edge? I mean, I have done a lot of crazy stuff, but but my it's like your spectrum of crazy is way bigger than what other people's spectrum of crazy is, right? Like so the thing is, to other people you might have gone to the edge, but to you maybe it's like you're still within what's comfortable for you.
Yeah, for me, yeah,
exactly. So I think that worries me a little bit.
But that's part of your training too, right?
Yeah.
All the mentors and people in the admins, we have our own training.
The thing that we have to do is the thing that we have to train in.
Yeah. Like this is my training, because like
why do you think that you're training in this actually?
Okay, that's a good one. Because Mei Chen said, because my karma is I'm always getting interviewed. I've done like hundreds of interviews. It's always people interviewing me, and to kind of refragment that karma.
Yeah.
It's not like it's bad or good, but just to kind of I guess more versatile in how I my being and how I express. Now he wants me to interview people and just be interested in other people. Almost like that's how I'm training in the 9th Boomi. It's kind of like how you're gonna lead the parallel cohort, advanced cohort, and this is what I'm doing for that almost the same kind of reason. And I think Machen is really smart because he knows what's still within my interest and disposition. It's still content creating, but it's just expressed in a way where it's almost like a 90-degree turn of what I'm used to doing, which is listening to people and interviewing people instead of just me talking about my own story.
Yeah, it's true. I think my interest is in pointing things out to people. And in fact, the one thing that I really appreciate about CC is that I just get to point whatever the fuck.
You can just point to
you just really can point it out, because I think the way, I mean, in the past I taught mindfulness, and the way that whole industry has been designed is that it feels more like a healing space. I think we were talking about this morning. Feels more therapeutic, and there is a certain image that you have to fit into when you're in that kind of space, right? That you have to be more even or rounded, or like
more feminine.
Yeah, more feminine. Exactly.
Yeah,
you read the dissertation.
No, we can talk a little bit about your dissertation too. But the reason why I mentioned the word feminine is because we're also going to talk about the masculine versus feminine duality. How
basically be nice, right? Like you want to show like you're holding space. I mean, not that CC doesn't hold space, but I think we hold a space in a way more raw and honest manner. Like we don't. If that's bullshit, you can feel it.
I actually think
right
CC
away,
could be even more brutal.
I think so.
Yeah.
Why are you not?
Why am I not? I don't know.
You don't play that role? What?
I don't know. I think in terms of like brutality, because we talk a lot about like brutality and almost the beauty of brutality.
Yeah.
I feel like I exhausted a lot of that already. Like I used to be very brutal, like in terms of how I exert, in terms of like how I express.
Yeah.
And I used to get into fights with my ex-girlfriends. I would like throw shit, just break windows, and like wanted to jump out the window, punch like holes in the wall. But that's mostly just all exhausted.
So exactly. So that kind of rage and that kind of
rage, rawness,
or violence, right?
Yeah, violence.
But how do you think that can happen in like a Zoom? Because we're doing it in a Zoom environment. Right?
Yeah. I know a few other groups that actually take this method almost to the extreme. Like that's what they do. They just sit in a circle, or if that's not in person, or maybe even over Zoom, they just point out people's views and have debates and like almost like dharma battles. But I feel like they're rarefying that too much, but then in terms of like, CC is a little bit more brutal and more direct than a lot of other kind of spaces. But I do think there's room for even more, which is maybe where you come in, because part of your training is to embody, like, I think Machen says to embody evil, because in order to truly understand.
Look at me.
Human.
How the fuck does this embody evil?
No, I do think you have to be. You can be scary, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Have I been scary before?
Maybe your directness. Maybe not the way you express, but then in terms of how sharp you are able to see through people's bullshit, can be scary for people. Yeah.
I think people being able to see their own truth is the most scary.
Do their own, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's their own thing.
That's exactly what I mean. It's like I know you are the type of person who's very honest with herself, and then it's almost like a lot of your journey is about being brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah, with myself.
So
with myself.
Now, can you, and under what context do you want to do that to people, and how are you going to do it? I guess is what you're continuing with.
And so to me, I think all along in that sense is that if you are able to point out something that is the truth for somebody else. I mean, sometimes it could be wrong. I don't know. Sometimes it's just trial and error, right? And you don't actually have to be evil in that sense, because their truth will do it to them, right? It's not so much like we have to be. So I think that kind of balance that we hold in CC, which is that we are actually quite loving and compassionate.
Yeah, we are.
Right?
Yeah. I think we're all pretty friendly.
We're just letting everyone's own karma fuck themselves.
That's a good point. So our holding space is not to just give them love and light and just let them bliss out and feel good and equanimous. Our holding space is actually
Yeah.
We just serve as mirrors to each other.
Yeah.
And then like you say, let your own karma fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But at the same time, I can't help but also feel like that sense of directness. Sometimes you need to be trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think there's a lot of things that
The nuance.
the nuance of it, and sometimes when the bullshit is not that obvious, you know, because I think for a lot of people, sometimes you are just like being conventional, and you are just conforming to certain social norms. I mean, if I were to talk about the previous cohort, our pet peeve among the mentors is that they are too polite, and all very proper. And so that edge cannot be pushed because in the end, like, how do you tell people like, oh, don't be too polite? Or it's not a bad thing, and at the same time you're trying to like push that edge. And it's like, so that was actually challenging for.
There's a delicate balance.
Yeah. And you don't want to make people think like that thing is a bad thing either.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's also hard for them to see that kind of karma is. You see, it's not fucking them up, but it's actually, because there's two things, right? There's karma that fuck you up, and then there's karma that is hindering your progress.
Yeah, there's karma that doesn't seem like it's fucking you up on the surface, but you actually just keep reinforcing it, even if you think you're solving a problem.
Yeah.
But it's the same karmic loop that's perpetuating itself. So that kind of karma is harder to see, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I think this morning when I was doing the transmission, I don't know, I just felt this sense of, like we keep talking about self-emptiness. I think at some point, sometimes it becomes a narrative again. You know, sometimes we just look back into the...
Like a constant intellectualization? Or,
like, or you just think that now the habit will take it, you take it as a habit instead of...
What do you mean by taking it as a habit? Like you over self-invalidate, or you just turn that into another view? Both,
right.
Maybe both.
Yeah, we always do that. Like something that it turns into a view again, and then you have to like
Right. You have to re-examine again.
Yeah, re-examine it or reorient it with whatever way.
Yeah, it's very hard to talk around these things because, we can say anatta or self-emptiness is not a thing, you can't find it, but even saying it's not a thing, in a way you are already making it into a thing. Right?
I mean, when we have teammate, we have to make it a thing, right?
We have one teammate which we have to make it a thing. But even if we keep talking about let's not make it a thing, in a way that's still kind of reinforcing.
So it's not so much about making a thing or not making a thing.
It's just seeing what it is, seeing how it's constructed is like, right?
It's like how each individual actually aggregate and like, get hindered. So there's different routings and there's no fixed routing. I think it's really that, right?
What do you mean by routing? For the people who haven't done our transmission yet, or yoking.
I don't know. There's different ways of getting from point A to point B, if there's such a thing. I mean, we can say that everything
maneuvering.
The different maneuvers and the different. It's almost like there's infinite, boundless pathways. I think we used to talk about this in one of our book club, which is in Luminous Heart discussion, right? And we're talking about how we pin and spin.
Yeah, pin and spin.
Yeah, stuff. And I was saying that how I see it is that a lot of times we see ourselves like have a certain like path of like A to B. Maybe I see one way, or maybe I see three ways, right? But it's still, and like eventually how we live life. I feel like I'm more like a spider. It's like I'm trying to spin as many routes, or path. And then so now your path become like, it's almost like you can infinitely, no matter where you are at, there's still a way to kind of get to where you want to be. And
like, when did you get lost in all the different paths, or how do you not get lost in all those different paths? That also takes skills.
Because if it's
fitness,
at least fitness is one. I think fitness is one thing.
Or disposition, how you orient, right?
How you orient is one thing, and how I sense it is that if truly that you spin it, you won't forget it.
I think if you have the view, it's hard to get lost.
Yeah.
But then if you don't have the view, you can spin in all kinds of different directions, and you might still be
or if it's
be
like
lost.
like so you're not like going the path that you actually like realize it. Like it's not you, it's like your conditioning. Somebody has like maybe give you that idea of that path.
Yeah, the one way I would describe a maneuver, it's almost like the maneuver to get out of your own way. That's one way I would describe it.
That kind of works too. How would that look like for you? Like
it depends. So sometimes when I receive especially the Torah Tantra transmission, I mean, it's not just one way or the other, right? It's like you going in there and maneuver with your will versus like surrendering. They're both they're different kind of maneuvers. You know, sometimes you embody more exertion. Sometimes you have periods where you like go more. Sometimes both. So it's hard to say. But then I do think that type of maneuver it does take training and the right view, and that's why we talk about like absorption, purification, and having the right view. And then Kant also says something really interesting about aspiration, or like this process of like falling into groundlessness. It is groundless, but then how you fall into the groundlessness has a certain trajectory, or you can actually route through the groundlessness. So you actually can fly instead of just falling into the groundlessness without any direction. You can suspend, you can fly, you can exert.
You can keep falling.
You can keep falling.
Get used to what it feels like to keep falling.
So there's so many different ways in which you can navigate, or as reality.
I think the main issue is that people feel like falling is like a bad thing. Like suspending maybe is neutral.
Or they just want to fall. Some people like verify falling, they just want to keep falling, which is fine too, but it depends on the context. But what Kant said was really interesting was that this kind of maneuvers, or this kind of just having different routings, you get to see you need to see the whole, almost like I don't know if you can see the entire mandala, but then it's almost like you can't just be very flat, like, just from A to B. It's from A to Z, and it's from like A to like D, or it's B to like F, and then it's almost like every letter in between can all be connected to each other, and then simultaneously you can also like perceive without the perceiving from beyond the alphabet altogether, like from the unconditioned. So
I think it's not even like
very nuanced.
Yeah, it is, and I think for a lot of times we might see things like two-dimensionally. Like people don't even see actually three-dimensional. And then we're thinking about like 4D and in 5D actually.
That's why yesterday the discussion said it's like, okay, we're going from here to here, but then actually you can actually open up a whole new axis or a whole new dimension, but like diagonally, not like, just here, but like this way.
It's almost like if you shift your view, then it becomes actually not. It's actually not that anymore. Right?
So the geometry. That's why we like to use the word geometry to describe like the views. Actually, it's like it's not just two-dimensional. It's by default already four-dimensional, because if you look at an object, it's always three-dimensional space and one dimension of time already. But then when we do this kind of tantric transmission,
what do you think that help you train in? But what do you think will like helping you see that kind of geometry for you?
For me personally, I think I still need more training in that, actually, because Mei Chen was like, Frank, you just gotta see even beyond what he's always telling you to go beyond. So I think my path getting to here, there's a lot of things that I do that already kind of train you to think outside the box, or just outside the flatness, which is like, playing the violin, for example. Or like, editing videos. There's so many different layers.
But there's so many people who play instruments.
Oh. Okay.
But it's like, but they don't see. It's like how do you think?
Actually, you know what's so funny? I actually think people who play instruments are usually in a way more
conscious?
Maybe sometimes. I think they're smarter. People who have been playing music for
being
since
able
like
to analyze and intellectualize, and be able to see rhythms and stuff. Right?
See patterns, and even just the ability to think both critically and also like creatively. They just have more sharpness in a sense. They just have almost better brains, because they've been training since like 5, and the instruments is so difficult. And like for the violin, sometimes I like to mention how the violin, just in order to play the violin, you almost have to think outside of three-dimensional already, because if you look at the fingerboard, you tried the violin?
I tried recently because my goddaughter, she was learning to play the violin, and I asked her like just teach me some. But I think it's amazing because I think it's actually one of the most fun instruments because
it's one of the
hardest. Yeah. But it's like I can imagine how hard it is to master it. But it's like you really have to feel the body.
Yeah, it's full body.
Yeah, it's full body, and like the pressure of the what very you're pressing.
Tactile, the pressure of how you're pressing, and then
actually very yogic.
Very yogic, exactly. That's why the violin is very yogic. If you look at how the strings too, and the sound, just the texture of the sound, it's almost like the same as like perceiving these infinite webs of cosmic conditions that you're yoking into.
Yes, because the pressure is like infinite, right? Like the kind of spectrum that you can go into, and it sounds different. Whenever you change the pressure.
Yeah. And if you look at the fingerboard, there's no fret on the fingerboard.
Yeah.
This is the example sometimes I give in terms of like thinking outside of just what's being perceived three-dimensionally. It's like in piano, you can see the different keys, right? And even guitar, there's a fret. But then if you look at violin, it's like the fingerboard is only this big.
Yeah.
So you have to stuff like 5 piano on the fingerboard this big.
That's
so
true.
like 1 millimeter of pressure or like
difference,
it's already a different note. It's out of tune if you're off by 1 millimeter. So how do you even perceive that? You cannot perceive it literally.
Yeah.
You have to almost like in your mind, you have to create another dimension. So like in my mind, it's not just like 1 millimeter. Sure, there's that too. But then in my mind, the 1 millimeter, the way I visualize it, it's almost like jumping from like Jupiter to Mars.
Yeah.
Cause it's or like the ant. You know how the ant can just like circle around a wire.
Yeah.
But then if we as human beings cannot circle around a wire, so for the ant, the wire is not just like flat. It's like multi-dimensional, so that's why they can like go like this.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So the strings is like.
So it comes up for you like as a vision, like do you think that you visualize it?
Yeah, I do visualize it, but there are different types of visualization when we play the violin. There is the visualization of, let's say, I want to bring up the emotion of feeling like I'm in love, like or like visualization of the scenery of a beautiful sunset. There's that, but that's more literal. Yeah, but then there's also a kind of a visualization that's beyond even pictorial representation. It's beyond representation.
Yeah.
It's almost kinetic. It's hard to explain, but then which is why it's very similar to the way we meditate, because some of the way like we maneuver and then we like twist and turn and playing with this geometry, constructed it, deconstructed it, the way you visualize is not even representational.
Yeah. And so I do think it's interesting because then...
You play music?
No, I don't.
I feel like
I'm terrible at it.
No, I feel like in another... Because you didn't start when you're younger, right?
No.
Yeah, I feel like in another universe... Sometimes I like to look at people and like, if you have another version of you, another universe, you would be really good at that. And I think you would be a musician.
Oh,
you could be... I know a couple of musicians like crazy like the way you are crazy in terms of like the sharpness and like you do a lot of crazy shit, but then it's not on the surface that much.
I think there's nobody in my life actually thinks that I'm crazy.
Nobody, exactly, that's what I mean. Like the people in your life wouldn't think you're crazy.
Yeah.
But then like I know this like this girl that's I met I dated a few girls who are kind of like you actually. And then they're very similar. It's like some of them play music.
But I think that is actually how I train, because my training is really more about like, because I didn't play okay, maybe I did fitness wise. I guess fitness is kind of similar.
Fitness is also like instrumental.
It's also like that sense of yogic ability to kind of just sense into everything.
The muscle fibers.
Yeah, and I think the way I did it is that I just, almost like how I've framed my life is that I wanted to not look crazy, but yet be able to leave out all the craziness that I know I feel inside me.
You want to leave it inside you? Or
I just want.
You don't express it that much, right?
I don't express. So it's like I don't want it to. Like I don't want people to see that I'm crazy, but at the same time I do not suppress anything.
So where does it go? How does it lead?
Yeah. So it was this way. It's a lot of internal maneuver, of like leaving out that intensity or understanding the routing of the emotions. Like how do you bring it to a peak, yet at the same time it's not expressed externally.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so that kind of like
so where does it go? You just get some twist, or I mean,
when I think about it, I don't know. I think it goes to the relating.
How you relate to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for short of a better word, sometimes you see how certain way you express certain things. It might look like I'm very calm.
Like right now. Like this is what you're doing right now. Whatever you're saying is fucking insane. But then you're doing it in a way where it's acceptable.
Like it's acceptable. It's
PG.
super calm. But at the same time, you see people around you might be going a bit insane.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, that's really insightful. Like, what is he talking about?" But then even just like your energy right now, I can sense that kind of the maneuver you're talking about.
So or like people will feel something, like even if just sitting silently there. Like they're feeling something, or like even.
So it's almost energetic. It's like you can't really see it, but then it's there because energy is there, right?
So playing with the energy itself in an invisible manner, and then just keep playing. So it's like dancing, playing, testing. It's like, oh, when this energy is expressed this way, even though it's not seen, like very visible.
Right.
It's like it is influencing how things are being manifested. You know how.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, how relationship is being played out, and I think that's why I'm doing 7A, because in the end it's about.
So you don't exactly. So you don't have to like act evil or like.
Oh yeah.
That could be a maneuver, but you can just. To what you're doing right now, and then people.
Oh, because I think some people just need to be like need that kind of outright pointing, right?
Yeah. So I think I heard you mention this during one of Machen's one-on-one. Like I think it was the first one-on-one I have ever heard of you and Machen. It was like cohort 5. And you also mentioned something kind of interesting. You said that you wanted to reach out to me, but then you never reached out to me because.
Yeah, I don't. And I think it's perfect timing that when I do reach out, like I thought that was perfect timing. Like when I was joining cohort 5, right?
So that's the only time you reached out, right?
Yeah, that's the only time I reached out. Like, before that.
You said you wanted to reach out before.
Way before. I think way before.
You said something about you didn't want to because there was a reason why you didn't reach out. I thought that was interesting. I forgot something about sexuality.
Yeah, like about sexuality, or I think that there was I like to reach out to people when I feel like that is a time to connect. Again, it's hard, like it's like you said, it's hard to explain. But energetically, you know that you are meeting and you would be able to manifest something energetically when you are like ready to meet someone. So I think before that,
that's almost the same thing as what you were talking about earlier just now, right? About the
I think so.
Maneuver of energy.
Yeah, it's maneuvering as well, and sometimes you can just call it intuition. Like it's
that maneuver of energy. Oh, it's across time too. It's like you know what I mean. It's like you didn't reach out because that was a way for you to maneuver your step in the future to reach out at the maybe more efficient timings for this to happen.
Yeah. Or I mean, like in just a very gross sense, it's just intuition, and I think that people these days we don't do enough to so-called train. So people think that either you have intuition or you don't.
Yeah, but you can train, right?
Yeah, you train it. Like in fact, it's like to me, it's like a lifelong training. It's like fitness.
So how do you train intuition? I mean, there is a lot of intuition going on when we do yogic practices.
You have intuition. Like I think all of us in CC.
Like even Taylor, he takes good pictures. That's the kind of intuition you can't really teach, but you can kind of train it too. It's not like you can't teach it at all, right?
Yeah.
So what is intuition to you, and how do you train it? Because I know it is a topic people talk about. It's like,
I think to me it's just all relating. I think the key thing that has always been my main focus of interest, like what I care about, is relationship. Like I think I was just, even when I was a small girl, I spent a lot of time watching TV, but not in that sense where you just like it's like cartoon or I specifically only like to watch soap dramas. You want to see like how relationships play out, and it's like, is that how, and feeling into that energy of like what that kind of relationship means, and then in my real life, and I'd be observing my mom and dad, I'd be like, how come they are not? How come they are not like that way? Like how come that their so-called love doesn't feel like that in the drama? I think in drama they always make you feel really like excited, or like how dramas are.
So popular.
Yeah, and then there's always that longing to feel that whole range of emotions that you see in drama series, right? Like from the sadness, from the bad to the good, like no matter what.
But you didn't fall into the trap of like, oh, let's say you watch a lot of Disney movie that it has to be a certain type of relating that you deem to be more preferable.
Yeah, of course.
You did.
I mean, we get conditioned along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after that, it's like in between, you have to do the job of the deconditioning, right? But doesn't mean that it's not training, right? And all the things that we did where we cope with our conditioning is also training. I mean, that's the only way that we could have, we could route back to being in this journey where we need to decondition things. I think that's a very important process. Yeah.
I still don't get how you train intuition, other than observing people's relationship. Is that part? That's part of it, sure, but like.
I think it's almost all of it.
That's all of it. Okay.
It's not just observing, but combining your observation with
How you manifest.
feeling.
With feeling, combine your observation.
What you're not
with
doing.
feeling.
Sometimes.
What I'm not doing. Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do think intuition has a lot to do with feeling. It's, some people would say
Yeah.
it's all feelings.
Yeah, but I think if it's just feeling, it's then it's too one-dimensional, and it's what women fall into.
Right.
Right?
Like,
Like,
I'm just being
the
intuitive.
feminine, like I'm intuitive, or I'm just feeling into things. But the thing is, when you need them to express or to verbalize, they feel very judged or not understood.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but actually the thing is that you have to combine, I guess it's a masculine and feminine thing which I talk about, which is that you do need to combine your observation, your intellect, like your analysis of things with the feeling and how that dance. So the fact that it's already, there's probably more things. I mean, these are 3 common things that we understand. And tuning one and not the other 2, that kind of nuance I go
I see
into.
what you mean.
Yeah, like if I don't observe.
What are the 3 things? The feeling, observation, or like
And the
more
intellect.
analytical? Intellect.
Yeah,
Okay.
your analysis of the situation,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And being and that comes in then in your verbalization, being able to express what is this 3 things that you sense about. So I guess 4 things. Your communication as well. So just then that 4 permutations is like it's infinite, right? If you train one and then you start to see how it combines, how it dances. Yeah.
So if you do all this training and then in the moment we have to make a decision or whatever, do you does the intuition just happen, or do you
I mean, if
still
you're fit,
sometimes need to
if
do
you're
some
fit
maneuver?
enough, it's why people have doubts, right?
Right.
Like, and people like get paralyzed and not be able to make decisions because we don't train ourselves to tune into all that we, intuition as a whole, but actually it has all these things that we can experience, all the phenomena that we experience.
So if you get really good at it, do you still need to like instantiate these 4 elements and then kind of balance them out before you?
I guess it becomes kind of
effortless,
natural.
right? Even if you see it, even if you do maneuver, it's just,
they will
that
still be
becomes part of the
difficult.
intuition too, right?
But you will keep pushing that edge to
yeah.
go into like difficult situations. That's the thing.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's how I.
Right.
That's my craziness, right? Like you sort of keep pushing the edge to see like, oh, how, like I'm now comfortable like this. Then what more can I do, or what more can I try that would push the edge of this experience?
In my head, I'm thinking about like a parkour athlete. Do you know a parkour athlete?
No, what's
It's
that?
like people like jump across buildings and they just do
parkour.
Parkour, yeah?
Yeah.
So in parkour, I guess a lot of that is intuition, right? You do
Yeah.
have to train through squats and then flexibility, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
But then you do go around and then maybe this terrain is too easy for you.
Yeah.
It's all, sure,
Yeah.
it's the intuition, but then to take to the next level.
It's a lot of
to
things,
make
right? It's
intuition gains,
your visual, it's
yeah.
your like everything, your spatial coordination, like and stuff like that, which all takes actually some form of training. Yeah, but I guess just different people. So I think eventually.
So what you just described
Yeah.
with you is so interesting because there's so many. It's almost like a multi-dimensional thing. And then
Yeah.
if you take just that fractal of training intuition, and apply it to what we do here, it's almost like it's very relatable.
It is,
right?
yeah, it's
Like-
absolutely just practice, right?
Yeah, just
But from
practice,
the external, like people just looking at us, like if people are looking at you meditating, you're just sitting there closing your eyes, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the kind of things that's going on, like for me, it's like people around me just see me, it's like, oh, you're good in relating. Like you're
then
not
there's
you're
actually a
like
lot
everybody
going on.
likes you,
Yeah.
or everybody is like you seem. I think how it happens for me is that in the end it looks like I'm quite comfortable, like I have, it looks like I have things provided for, but while at the same time doing, I think it's happened for you too, like while doing the things that I like. It doesn't seem to have that much of like a conflict with like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm not getting this. Then
No,
I
don't really think about that that
exactly.
much. Yeah,
So, but for me, it's actually pretty purposeful in that kind of maneuver, and that like how can my relating help me in keeping me safe? I mean, you can say that keeping myself safe, or that I don't have to worry about things, because I think everything in life is. If you have it makes me sound kind of like manipulative. Well, I guess it is in some sense. That
just in general, like
like-
you kind of have to manipulate through life, right? It's just like how
like
virtuously
what
do
do
it, I
you
guess.
receive it? Who do you receive certain things to? What do you give? All these things becomes part of the relating, and in keeping your life kind of in a space where.
Maybe this is why you're scary.
Oh, really?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I think a lot of men would be a little fearful of women who are a step ahead of them, or like.
But the thing is, they don't know
right?
it. The skill is, I think you come to a point where
They don't even know it.
they don't even know
okay.
it, and people don't feel it.
They don't feel it, but yeah, that's why it's even scarier.
I mean, and I'm saying it, and people still, I will be saying
But I
it.
think they can feel it at some level, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe at some point let me see.
And
Actually,
it's
no.
also a skill to make them not feel it too, or feel it.
And it's almost like if I want them to feel
Yeah.
it, in the end, I think is that I'm now willing to kind of give you that opening.
Yeah.
To go into that. But it's also more like, what was I saying? But in the end, it's also genuine. So it sounds manipulative, but at the same time, like what I feel, the love or the things that I care about, like I worry about things, like all that worrying and the loving goes into that maneuver.
I see what you mean.
So it's genuine, right? It's not.
So you have that part about taking ownership of your emotions.
Yeah.
That goes into.
That goes into that maneuver.
yeah,
So it's not like you are purely manipulative,
Right.
but then you become skillful in seeing the trajectories of the whole range of emotions that you have. So that now that whole mandala, it's now can be kind of manifested together with your training in how you're trying to make sense of it all. Yeah, but even then you're not 100%. You just like the part that we say that we learn to be okay with that.
With not being okay, or-
Yeah, the unknown. Like
be
sometimes
okay
you're
with the
falling.
unknown, right.
Sometimes you're falling. Sometimes you're suspending, and then also having that as part of your fitness training.
Yeah, you're basically talking about how to maneuver through life.
Yeah.
In a way, in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes I think that also hinders me a little bit.
Because does it get too much, or maybe?
It gets too much, or sometimes like
over-maneuver?
I'll be wondering like, what are you guys doing, like expounding and
Right.
talking about the. I mean, I'm all for it. Like I think I can talk about it with you guys,
Yeah,
talk about
you
the books and stuff like that. But eventually, I will always feel like, okay, but if this is not translating to like living life, then
It's just philosophizing.
yeah. Like eventually, I do feel that whatever you do, you practice or you study,
It has to translate.
it has to make you feel like living life is now easier, is now
Less suffering, or like
less suffering.
Yeah.
Less suffering. I mean, there's a point.
Yeah.
I mean, but then Mei Cheng has been telling me that me Ray finding the point is also like a hindrance for me, which I get it.
Which point? The what you just said,
The
right?
fact that I need a point.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
the
I
fact
see
that
what you mean.
that there's something needs to have a point.
Oh, maybe you can just read philosophy for its own sake, or something like that, or expound for its own sake. Is that what it is?
Yeah, like training virtues
For virtue's
its own,
sake. Okay.
for virtue's sake.
Oh, okay.
So which I think for me is still a bit challenging. Like for like how I've always try to live life such that whatever that I'm doing, it should kind of flow back into life. Yeah. Or so yeah, that idea of having a point. I think sometimes it does hinder.
But then at the same time, if you can also verify nothing. You could just do things for your own sake
there's no
without a
point. Sometimes
yeah,
can
sometimes
be that,
you
right?
can also you verify that.
Yeah, I guess being flexible.
Yeah, be flexible. Yeah.
Yeah, like what Mei Cheng was telling me was I thought was useful was this idea that instead of you deciding what that point is, you let the point unfold for itself.
Yeah, so
right?
that's like the middle way, kind of. Yeah, point, no point. You transcend both.
Yeah,
of
which
these
I'm learning.
extremes. Yeah.
I'm learning.
That's what we're all learning, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get here?
How do I what?
How did you get here to CC? Like, cause I know you.
Okay, it's okay. Things have.
How did you discover my videos?
So I was sharing with some people that it has always been. So a lot of times things happen for me in like not that I look for it, but that it is like people who come to me. So I don't know if it's like there is this, maybe like I have a certain signal that I send out. Yeah, but I was in this. I wasn't actually a mindfulness
teacher,
Zoom.
right?
Yeah, I was training as mindfulness teacher. I was on Zoom because it was COVID. This guy I don't know him. He's in Spain, Amsterdam. I'm in Singapore. So he just like private text me, like DM me, and he's like, I think you would like this group on Facebook, which is ATR.
Oh, you got who else said the same? Someone else said they
I guess a lot of us would have been in ATR before.
ATR,
yeah, and then went in, I was like, what nonsense is this?
I think that was you. You were talking about that in the car.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that was you.
I just think like, what's this? It's like all nonsensical. It's like so long, like a lot.
But then you already had mindfulness training.
I had mindfulness training, but I
I
don't study.
No, there's no view, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't
I don't study
the
about views
yeah.
or anatta.
Right.
Like that was completely new to me. So going in, but somehow something just tell me that maybe you join and then you just hang around.
Yeah.
And like from completely just not understanding what's going on. I don't study either, but it's just maybe just repeatedly just reading the posts. I think after like a couple of years, it starts to make sense or it draw my interest, like what exactly is this anatta thing about? And then they were talking about you.
What were they talking about?
Oh, do you think Frank is awakened?
Oh, okay.
Do you think Frank is enlightened? I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Like, who's this guy? And then because your YouTube is always like picture of you naked,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
with asses,
I could go see some naked guys, and that's it. But the thing is, I think you were already in that space where I don't know, you said for a couple of years you were in like a booming state, like you were just like very zen out.
Oh, very zen out. I think I went through a couple of years of very bombastic kundalini explosion, even after anatta, just a lot of energetic things. And then even within that 2 years, there were phases where I zened out.
Yeah.
So what year was it, do you remember?
The one that you have, I think the one that I remember very clearly is we wore this blue shirt with that bunny, with that...
Okay. The thumbnail, right?
Yeah, the thumbnail.
Oh, okay. I think the title might appeal to you because the title, I think,
it's
of
like
that video is...
It's like awakening or something?
No. I think the title is Meditation for Beginners or Intermediate.
Yeah, because I wanted to know how you meditate. It's true, it's true. So I was watching that, and I watched that, I think, 3 times. Because the first, I was watching it, and I just fell into that space. I think that exact space that you were in. And
this is a transmission or something.
Yeah,
you said,
it's actually a transmission. It's absolutely a transmission. So I and then just listening to your words, like it all make total sense.
But before that, you had mindfulness training and then some...
But mindfulness training doesn't talk about anatta or self-emptiness.
But then you did come across information about anatta and self-emptiness from
which is
ATR.
on ATR.
And then after you discovered that video, you had a direct experience or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was the first time you had direct experience of something along the line of emptiness and anatta.
I mean, I didn't label it as emptiness. I just felt like I was... you were transmitting and then we were sharing space.
Space, interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
and all the...
I didn't know that before. Yeah,
and all the words, I actually tried to, whatever words that you said, it just straight away just is computing in me right away. It's like, how does it relate to life? Like that's how that's basically me. Like how sportsmen would be relating. Like how does this translate to performance, right? And for me, it's like how does this translate to life, like right away. And it was like very fast. And I almost can see like a matrix kind of things, like computing, and like this means that I don't have to care about what role I'm playing. Like my role can constantly change. Just hearing whatever that you were saying, like I can't remember what you say. You keep saying those things like there's. It's not like you believe or don't believe. Is
just one of my
those usual things like they're neither believing nor not believing. It's neither of that, and then you kind of just maneuver into that space. It's like that feels like what it means, and
so that you're routing. Kind of.
Like just rerouting with you already have like a full load of information that you have from all the leaving that you do, and now it's just recompute and rearranging.
Oh, interesting. Thank you for saying that, because I actually put a lot of effort into how I word things in my video so people can route to it exactly the way you did. But most people probably don't have, well, some do, but then you can't just watch it. It's not just my video. It's almost like when we read the Luminous Heart. It's the same. The way that those philosophers write, there's a certain, it's designed. It's a design. It's actually every sound, every
it's a transmission, it's a design, it's whatever it is.
So you actually have to like watch it or read it yogically.
Almost like you have to like click into it. It's true. And every time if I feel, and in the days where this felt new, and then I get stuck again, I would watch it again and just kind of just keep reminding. Like repetition matters to me. So it's actually pretty helpful. Your videos, they play, I think, a pretty crucial part for me, especially, I think that was during COVID. When I was watching
COVID, I was aware that people are tuning into meditation more.
So I
also had my breakthrough during COVID.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What breakthrough was that?
It was the one I call the Big Bang. Like I don't even. There was a phase when I thought that was anatta, but then actually looking back on it, that was actually, if we go with the Buddhist model, do you know Daniel Ingram? Daniel Ingram's fourth path. For him, it's already the end, but then there's more after that. But then if you want to contextualize it, even though Buddhists are also like empty, whatever, it's like maybe sixth or seventh Bhumi. So it's quite far, but it's also not anatta. I mean, it's already beyond anatta, so to speak. So, but that was I think still the most profound breakthrough. It's like I just completely lost the center, like it never came back, like perceptually. But there were still karmic tendencies that haven't been completely seen through. But then in terms of like the perceptual shift, it's just like totally dropping the center. That was also soul, like working to reality. For him, that was also like he was the one that reached out to me.
So the thing is, I never quite figure out like how the different people that you guys are following, like I never really follow, but because your videos are so visceral, it's like living. It's because it's like living life. I feel like when I watch your videos, it's like living life because you just take like usual people and stuff, right? Which is different from how other teachers teach or like how soul share. So that I think that part where you use videography is what connected
the words with the words
for me. Based on at least how I train myself. Like that is the kind of routing that I kind of click with.
So then after that, what was your training like after that? After
that, it was just a lot of integration. Like, because I will still be meditating, I'll still be doing my mindfulness meditation, still teaching mindfulness meditation. But we started changing a lot of messaging that I put out in my website in terms of what mindfulness is. And started changing it to like, it's not about mindfulness, but more like living with ease. And start to talk a lot about like almost like fitness based. Like I try to
use fitness as an example, as how you relate to the
like I start to split out into like the skills for like whatever I was saying, that kind of like your ability to pause, your ability to have flexibility. So all these as individual muscles, and why and how that practice integrates as this kind of fitness rather than just stress reduction or your well-being. Yeah.
So how did you get that from that point to decide to join CC?
Oh,
To join CC?
I was bored with mindfulness.
Uh-huh.
Like the point, I was bored. I was like, this is boring. I don't I don't know what.
What kind of training mindfulness? You say you actually went
Just
and got
body
certified,
scan.
right? But you got a certification or something.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
actually
I
went
did.
to
I
get
finished
trained
it.
by academics, right?
I was trained by Oxford.
Oxford. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa,
And-
okay. Oxford trained meditation teacher.
Yeah,
And you're not in
they
CC.
have an Oxford
We
mindfulness.
have an Oxford trained meditation teacher.
Yeah, Oxford Mindfulness Center. And so I was training.
So you were is it an online program or you actually went to Oxford?
I went to Oxford.
So you
And
were
then-
actually went to Oxford?
Yeah,
and
we did like summer programs there, and then the teachers actually went to Singapore to do training as well. So sometimes I did it in Singapore, and I've been to Oxford as well.
You said there was a lot of, after a while, there's a lot of almost like a discrepancy between like what you, your view on meditation versus like the academic
It's
kind
that
of view.
light and light thing, the light healing space, light and love kind of healing space feel about it. And
So you feel like iffy.
I think there are merits.
There's
There's definitely a lot of merits in how they are training mindfulness, which is, I think I shared it in the discussion session where, you know, in the initial phase where you're training the elements, that we should just kind of cut short people and not expound that much. But, you know, you make people kind of see that thinking's happening. That's how we do it in the way we were trained. But they don't go all the way, like, you know, what is beyond, because in the end we're just training people to be present. That's all.
That's what most people want, right?
Yeah, that's it.
just
Yeah,
want
like
to
they're happy with that,
or
right?
like stress
Yeah, they're happy with
reduction.
it. So, but I'm not happy with it. It just feels like there's more. I mean, like then I watch your videos, or I was reading books actually, reading books by Ishi Sogyal, Guru Rinpoche's teachings.
You're already reading that?
Yeah. I just, again, it's by chance, right? Like it's just that I read. I read all kinds of things, like the Buddhist stuff as well, the Bhagavad Gita. I also read it.
Did you ever read any pragmatic Dharma materials, like the stuff that I recommend, like Dana
No.
Ingram, like Rob Burbian?
No.
You just weren't interested in it, or-
Interesting. Yeah, for whatever reason, I
just
just
didn't find
it
it
does
interesting.
not catch my attention.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I can sense right away that.
Because you seem like a very pragmatic, scientific-minded person. Like I would think you would find those books like Dana Ingram style, like very like.
I like to break
applicable.
things down myself.
Okay.
I think
you don't need that.
Yeah,
You
a little
can
bit
already-
like a solo realizer kind of like.
Okay. So you can break things out. You don't need that, but then you're much more interested in is more almost like the
like I want
esoteric
like
stuff.
the real thing,
Right.
so that I can break it down myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like what's right at the beginning, what Guru Rinpoche is saying, or then I kind of make sense of it in a very.
Oh, I see what you mean.
To me, it's like I don't want to like after he has passed through.
You don't need them to break it down for you. You just need them to. It's almost like watching the video of me just explaining life, and then you can break it down your own way.
Yeah, and I'm wary of people like conditioning, like passing through people's own conditioning, because I think that's my own experience. Is that when I join certain sanghas, I feel like it is always tainted, like stained, right, with people's own conditioning and the culture that they want to, and then eventually this doesn't. It always get. What do you call it? Like
Cocooned or filtered?
Yeah, either filtered, cocoon, or like it's not some. It's just again an intuition. I can't really say why. Yeah, but maybe because that why your videos is like to me quite pure, because it's very transmission based. It's not like I don't feel like you're telling me
what to do.
Yeah, or that you're saying something that
it's
you
not based on a
think.
convention, because it's like Dana Ingram's book is still wrapped within sort of the wrappers of like the convention of like say scientific materialism or like like paths or like techniques. It's like a manual telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Instead of like Guru Rinpoche, it's just about his mind stream kind of.
Yeah, like and it's his transmission, right? In a way, and so I.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
How you interpret these things. 'Cause in CC we do talk sometimes about like our destiny or reincarnation. So when you hear this, it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? Like
I mean, if there's anything, it's just the energetic emanation. I do give merits to merits now.
What do you mean by that?
It's like I think that everybody don't start from ground zero.
Okay, so you don't.
That's about it. I don't think that I think too much into like who am I as. I think pretty much I am who I am, but I will not hold back in using the talent that I have. And I think that to, again, like you say, it's like neither believe nor disbelieve, but it's more like, and because you have that kind of open, you can almost say like you choose to believe at times when you want
when you need
use,
to use it.
Yeah,
use
when
it,
you use that
yeah.
talent,
That's
and so it matters, right? So even that is a training. That when you can choose to believe and not believe, and when you can,
that's part of the intuition training.
Yeah. And not be afraid of either, because I think people want the truth to believe in, but actually,
or they reject it, say I don't believe in.
Like, I don't want this, right?
Oscillating between two extremes.
But in fact, it need not be the truth at all, but you can totally use.
Truth, almost like truth doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's just
exactly.
how can you utilize this emanation in this context?
Energetic
for whatever
emanation.
means you
I mean,
right
Kant
now.
does it. Kant does just channel someone, right? It's like, oh, I'm this, and then he just just go into that person. Yeah, and I think that's what we do. Like we role model, right? We look at somebody, be like, oh, that's what I
think
like
we
to
do that
be.
constantly.
exactly.
Even just relating, even conventionally.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just don't realize it to that extent.
So you can do it to Jesus. You can do it to like whoever.
That's almost like the same mechanism as a deity yoga.
Yeah.
Almost like.
So if it
but
helps,
then people can get attached to the identity of a deity,
that's
right?
true.
Yeah. So
That's
you
true.
just gotta be able to be flexible.
Yeah.
Because Jace says something interesting too about emanation bodies. He thinks that as part of the way he describes emanation bodies is that you can actually apply it to your own life. You don't even have to go to like reincarnation of this or that guru. It's like for me, fitness was my me too. It's almost like an emanation body that's now a ghost. He said because it's now a ghost, it's still rippling. The karmic pattern of this mitsu and the way it lives still 3 times a week or eat kind of protein every day.
Yeah.
It's almost like a karmic ripple. But then I'm not attached to it anymore, so I can actually just wear it like a suit. But it's a ghost that's still like hovering around. But you don't have to like reject it or annihilate it. You can just put it on whenever you need to use that emanation.
Yes,
body.
like clothes.
Yeah. It's like a coat.
Whatever, like shoes or whatever.
It's like a shoe.
You're walking in people's shoes.
Yeah,
like you know.
Yeah, that's interesting way to
exactly
see
that.
emanation bodies. Yeah.
I think what
So
was
even the mindfulness thing was one of your emanation bodies in this lifetime, right?
I
you
guess
can
so.
you can actually pull that.
In fact, when I guide meditation,
to apply to
I
being
become a very
mentor.
different person.
Yeah.
When I guide meditation, I become a very different person.
Wait, I never see you guide meditation. Maybe we can do a campfire where you do
Sometimes.
some mindfulness guided
Like
meditation.
guiding, it's just energetic, right? In the end, you do that. It's like energetically, you just kind of like put yourself in a space where, like, you want people to ground. So it's like energetically, I have to ground, and it's kind of just spread, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I do want to talk about the masculine and feminine divide, and we're like bridging that gap. But then you actually wrote a whole dissertation, so we can put this is public, we can put the link to your written dissertation.
Oh, well,
and let people read it.
we probably got to edit it a little bit.
Oh my, we can edit it. But it depends on what you want people to see. But then there's also a video interview that we did yesterday of you talking about your dissertation, so we can provide the link to that too. But I do find that interesting because like yesterday we're having a discussion about the duality between masculine and feminine, and then you're asking people to point. It's like how you are interacting with CC. Is it more masculine? If you're masculine, you point this way. More feminine, point this way. And then if it's neutral, you point this way. And then I don't know. I said I point this way, and then you said I was like this or something. I was like, I don't really think about that.
I think depends. When you're in discussion, I think you're more masculine. I do think that.
Yeah, but then you also mentioned something interesting, is that the fact that I don't really think about these.
You don't think about it.
Yeah, I don't think about it.
Yeah.
But then I find your dissertation extremely interesting. The way, because I do know a lot of people around me, like Pippa or like just people who are into the self-development journey. They take that quite seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like without going too much into details, because we already have the links. Can you maybe actually can we? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. But you can't really do anything about it because
you can't really do anything.
It's public space.
Yeah, I mean we're almost at the 1 hour mark. This is supposed to be 1 hour, but I think.
Is it? How long is it?
It's 1 hour.
Yeah, it's 1 hour already.
Yeah, but
it's pretty good.
But I do still.
We can talk about that in the podcast in the future.
Okay.